I am a mining engineer. When I prepared for UPSC, I couldn't find time. Definitely, it has helped me to clear the mains. The person who failed knows many things than the person who succeeded, because success is only one direction, but failure, see, we are humans, okay? We tend to have that ego and pride in ourselves, and probably I had more of that. So I will never accept anyone evaluating my answer paper. If some person is evaluating that answer paper and he is saying that you are doing something wrong here, I will feel offended, and I will not accept what he is saying. So that happens usually. For UPSC, you should not have any bias. You should be balanced. You should be seeing from a bird's eye view. You have to grow, you have to evolve, not introspect.
हेलो गाइस, वेलकम टू प्रो मेंटर। दोस्तों, आज हम आए हुए हैं करोल बाग में। यहाँ से इंडिया के सबसे ज़्यादा नंबर ऑफ आईएएस निकलते हैं। आइए करते हैं यहाँ पे कुछ एस्पिरेंट से बातचीत, जानते हैं वो क्या स्ट्रैटेजी फॉलो करते हैं और कौन कौन सी बुक लिस्ट फॉलो करते हैं, जिससे कि इस जगह से ही सबसे ज़्यादा आईएएस निकलते हैं। हेलो सर।
Hello.
टेल मी समथिंग अबाउट यू।
So my name is Venkateshan. I am from Chennai, and I have been preparing for UPSC for the last 7 years.
Sir, what experience did you grab in these years?
UPSC shows you different things. See, it is a compendium, but at start you will feel that you know everything, because history and geography subject is there in your school, science is there in your school. You'll be thinking that it is enough to read all this NCERT, and there will be people who guide you that if you are going to read NCERT, you will be clearing it. But over time, you will understand that you don't know anything. And that is a point of realization that you have to know more than what the school is teaching you. And most of the times you will come to understand that whatever thing you have read in history, in science, is incomplete. There is an opposite theory. And to stay balanced, to stay in the center, to not go into any narratives, you have to widen your gaze. And that is what the experience has taught me, to widen my gaze in most areas. For instance, if you have one theory, I will have to search for other theories in that same aspect. If there is an Aryan invasion theory, I have to search for out of India theory. So that is the realization which UPSC gave me, and that is the experience which is most important.
What do you think that what percentage of NCERT help in UPSC preparation?
NCERT will be useful at prelims level, that's it. Most of the times it will not be useful for mains or interview, because even after 2017, the trend has been changing that prelims question paper is completely random. So you cannot have this NCERT alone thing and come to UPSC. So that is going inside a fire room without proper equipment. So you are going to get burned. You are going to get crumbled.
Since you are preparing for the 7 years, what challenges did you face while preparing for the UPSC? Because it's quite a long period of time.
I was working candidate. So the first challenge is you will not find time when you are doing the work you have been studying for. Because I am a mining engineer. When I prepared for UPSC, I couldn't find time. Mining engineering job took around 12 hours of the day. So it is impossible to clear UPSC in that sense. So I have to give up the job. And once you give up the job, the guilt comes in.
Yeah.
Say what am I doing? Every people around, every friends of you, every colleague of you will be earning. They will be posting things. They will be looking happy. So that will be guilt tripping you, and that is pretty hard to overcome. And over a period of time, your own parents or your own relatives will also be pinching it on you. So you are not working, you are not earning enough. You are wasting your life on UPSC, it is going nowhere. So that kind of things will be happening, and that creates a self-doubt. So self-doubt and the problem of losing out is the thing that is most challenging. And after that, I got a job again. I got into a job. I couldn't handle those guilt trips. So I got into a job, but again, it was a call center job. It took time. It took away time, and I did not clear any prelims or mains at that point. So I thought that I need a job, but I need a job that is associated with my studies. So I took an academic job then. It will be helping. So it will be helping for financing me. It is not going to keep me idle that I am not doing any work. And it pays me, it also helps me in studies. So that is the way ahead. So every candidate, help yourself to gain into academies. There are numerous academies. So it is the best way to overcome the challenges during studying. So any other challenges can be easily tackled. UPSC will give you that scope.
What book list do people in the Karol Bagh follow?
This is among the most important things that UPSC aspirants should remember. Just don't depend on the books. So if books are written by certain ideas, certain ideologies, for becoming an aspirant, to widen your gaze, you have to overcome the materials that are available there. You have to become something more than the books itself. So work for that. You just don't. For instance, if I give you a book list, I don't want to give you a book list because people feel that if I'm going to give a book list, then they will buy that book and they will read it and they think they will clear it. No, that is not going to happen. You have to have the book. You have to think about it. You have to search for the alternatives, and that's how you will be moving ahead of that book. And that is a way to clear the different stages of the exam. I don't know about interview, but definitely it has helped me to clear the mains. So book list in the sense, I have followed Savinder Singh mostly for geography, and all the conventional books for history, geography and GS subjects. But for ethics, I did not particularly follow any book because there is no best book in the market. It is your mind that is the best thing. So you have to think about your answers, you have to think about your own personality, because I believe that the GS1 paper is about the people of India. That is the place where you come from. You have to just see the map and learn where is India. There is no need for book there. And then in GS2 it is a polity. You at least you need to have that Lakshminigant thing. But come to constitutional bodies part, you will be feeling that crunch. So you will not be able to understand it clearly. You will not be able to memorize it clearly. You need to have that underlying pattern. And when it comes to GS3, there is no textbook clearly mentioned for GS3. So it is a multi-subjective paper. And in that case, what will you depend upon? You have to think upon your brains only. You have to read about current affairs and then you have to think around it. So give more essence to your thinking part than reading the books. That is my only request to UPSC aspirants.
How can a UPSC aspirant self-introspect himself?
UPSC is a long journey, pretty long journey. So it is, for one exam, it is going to take 1 year or so. There is going to be preparation fatigue. The more you self-introspect yourself, the more you are going to be falling short of yourself. So that is going to create much more fatigue. So I would ask you, don't self-introspect, but think around what you are doing. So if you are reading something, for instance, if I am reading a scheme, today I am reading a scheme, I am finding whatever the details are there. So that is my first day preparation. Now next day I am thinking about why the scheme is made. So I will be making a relation with the policy. So scheme and policy. And now in the next day I will make an improvisation on that. Why this policy? Because there is an international convention that is there. So that policy and convention I will relate it. So I will be improvising on whatever I am doing. I will not self-introspect, I will be growing. So that is the main thing you have to do. You have to grow, you have to evolve, not introspect. You don't go back on yourself. You just move forward. That's it.
What suggestion will you give to a new UPSC aspirant? How to develop a personality that a UPSC requires?
UPSC, we will all be influenced by the narratives that is given by the books, because we have been reading that for almost 16 years before UPSC, I reckon 12 years in schools and 4 years in college. So we all be building narratives and we will be influenced by the narratives. So for UPSC, you should not have any bias. You should be balanced. You should be seeing from a bird's eye view. That you are not right wing or you are not left wing, you are not a particular religion. You are beyond identities, you are beyond arts and science. So that is the thing, that is the personality you have to develop. You have to look things from the above. You have to see where the balance is missing, and you have to support where there should be more support. So that is the personality which you should develop. You should not be biased first case. The next case, you should think. Thinking is the most important part. It is not just for UPSC aspirant, it is for every human, I should say.
Yeah. As you told me that you cleared the mains, so what strategy did you exactly follow for clearing the mains and for your answer writing skills?
The usual one is to do answer writing, but it never helped me. I failed when I did answer writing. See, we are humans, okay? We tend to have that ego and pride in ourselves, and probably I had more of that. So I will never accept anyone evaluating my answer paper. If some person is evaluating that answer paper and he is saying that you are doing something wrong here, I will feel offended and I will not accept what he is saying. So that happens usually, and I think most of the times most aspirants will also have the same thing. So things will be there. We will be feeling pride of ourselves. We will be having that ego, minimal ego. So what I did was I had to overcome this. This is a bigger problem. I had to overcome. So what I did was I was on that right side of answer writing, but I was on the side of evaluating. So I went as an evaluator, and when I evaluated people who came for me, who wrote answer for me, I saw myself in those people. Yeah. Whatever the mistakes I did, I could see the mistakes in those paper. So I could feel that this is the answer that I should not write.
Yeah.
So and like if there's a good paper that is coming, though, this is the point that I should write. So I learn from others' mistake, because there is very less scope to learn from your own mistake, because you will not accept your mistakes first. But there is always a scope to learn from others' mistake, because you will be at that point where you can pinpoint others' mistake, and then that point you will also be learning. So that is the strategy. So I will also ask my friends to do the same. So if you are in a same room, if you are 2-3 guys present inside it, then write your answers, share it among yourself. You never give in to any evaluator. You just give it to your friends and see. Don't give comment also. You see, evaluate their paper. You will find yourself in that paper. So that is what I am saying. So when you start to evaluate, you yourself will develop. So that will be helpful for you.
Do you think in the preliminary stages, people of the same age group or same batches do the same mistakes?
There are 1 or 2 students who do the same strategy, follow the same strategy that is told by the toppers, by the so-called toppers. So it is a survivorship bias that is going on. So you will not ask people who failed. So the person who failed knows many things than the person who succeeded, because success is only one direction, but failure there are many directions to fail. So you have to know what direction I shouldn't go there. So ultimately the popular quote is that learn from the failures, right? You cannot learn from success. So when you are going behind success and strategy, it may work, but it is a rarity. So learn from the failures, get instruction from those who have failed in UPSC, those who have attended mains and failed, because they will know that this is not the strategy to follow. And that is where you can, whatever he said, you can do that.
What tips you would like to give to a new beginner, those who are willing to prepare for the UPSC?
If you are a new beginner, then have a job. So without having a guilt, because you have to prepare without having a guilt. That's the first thing. But if your job is taking a toll on it, then change a job that does not take a toll on your preparation. But doing it without a job, doing it without a plan B, it is literal butchery. So UPSC is not like how it was some 10 years ago. It was in 1978 by prelims paper, you can take it, even a 10th standard guy could answer it. In 2017, at least it was much easier. But after 2018, the standards are so difficult. So it requires you to put more years in it. So it is not just 1 year scenario as it is being portrayed by many academies. It is never going to happen unless you have been preparing right from your childhood. If you have parents are in service, unless you have such privileges. I'm mentioning privileges. If you are not privileged, then it is better you get a job and then prepare side by side, because the thing is exam will become much easier over a period of time. But if you are having the guilt inside that you are not doing, it will become harder and harder over a period of time. So that is the difference.
Okay, thank you as well. Very nice talking to you.
Thank you.